Incomplete if we wouldn't have had you in this wrap-up important session. Honorable Finance Minister, Madam, you have taken the initiative in championing the growth of the GCCs in India, an ambition that was clearly articulated in your union budget speech earlier this year. It's your initiative that has brought focused attention to the strategic value of GCCs in India's economic transformation, and we are indeed again deeply honored to have you here with us. Madam, during the course of the day, there was deep appreciation on the significant initiatives that have been undertaken to accelerate the growth of the GCCs in India. Some key policy reforms have been focused upon. People have deliberated on this, the streamlining of regulatory processes, the enhancing of the operational flexibilities, the cultivating a conducive business environment. Feedback both ways were of great intense during the course of the day. Madam, you have been also talking about establishing dedicated facilitation desks to assist the inbound GCC investments, rationalization of compliance frameworks, and the implementation of skill development programs designed to build good quality, high quality talent pool of knowledge-driven industries. The importance of the collaboration between the central and the state governments, as well as the partnership with the academia and the private sector, which can ensure India's value proposition as a GCC hub, which would remain strong, which we all believe that is globally competitive. And under your leadership, we are keen indeed to work and contribute to positioning our country at the forefront of the global capability and innovation. Madam, today a discussion again have reaffirmed not only the potential of the GCC's opportunity in India, but also the urgent need for a coordinated policy and an institutional support. We've seen the state governments participating through the day, we have seen ministries participating through the day, and of course the GCCs from across the country who are here, and the industry government collaboration was indeed very, very deep rooted in all our discussions. With that, I'd just like to once again very warmly thank you and also welcome you for your presence and your leadership that you have given to this very important space of work. Ladies and gentlemen, warmly once again welcome our Honorable Finance Minister. May I now request Gunjan to please take over to lead through the deliberations of the day, the key recommendations that came up.
Madam Finance Minister, on behalf of the task force that CII and various ministries of the government has created, it is my deep pleasure to welcome you to this session. In your 2025 Union Budget speech, you acknowledged the role of India's services sector and the global capabilities on shaping the future of the Indian economy. Embedded within that was the recognition of the GCCs, not just as contributors to employment or exports, but as catalysts for innovation, resilience, and strategic depth. I am proud to share that that sentiment has become the foundation for what we present here today. This framework about the national GCC's policy brought together a binding to a common purpose, and that was to elevate our collective impact through policy alignment and deeper public-private partnership. And it was absolutely incredible to see the various ministries, the different state governments, the different representations across sectors from different cities and from different countries, the companies that are present from APAC, from Europe, from America, all coming together in the formation of the recommendation of that framework. The policies and investments enablement have the potential to unlock gross value added of over $500 billion to Indian economy and create about 20 to 25 million jobs in the next several years. If we can bring the slide, some of the data on this slide will not be lost on you, Madam Finance Minister. We have about 1,800 GCCs. 50% of the GCCs globally are present in India. And it is not just about the direct talent that this industry hires. That number stands at just north of 2.1 million. There is an indirect employment of 1.8 million that this industry provides. And if you include the induced employment, that number extends to 6.5 million additional people. Our GCCs in the country have become the business cultural capital of the world. There is an incredible extension, a trust, and a model that has been established on the operating side that our GCCs in the country are an extension to the global headquarters. In there, over the period of last few decades, especially in the last, I would say, couple of decades, the digital development of the global enterprises in a big part is being led out of India. And that has positioned us uniquely well to now be the architects of future. In there is the domain expertise, is the expertise and in the emerging technologies at scale that no other country can provide to our global enterprises. Madam Finance Minister, this year alone, over $5 trillion is being spent in engineering investments by global enterprises. When we look at the unlock of AI, about 10 to 15% can be added to world's GDP on a 10-year curve. And in there, again, the position for India to be the leading country, to be the leading destination that is AI enabling the enterprises is absolutely unique. Along with my co-chair, Romil, we have captured the feedback that has come through the course of the day. I'll request Romil to walk us through the foundations of the framework, but also the feedback that we have captured through this day.
Other emerging technologies, GCCs are playing a very pivotal role in that and have become very critical to that change. And many first-in-kind initiatives, whether it's around GenAI, 6G, precision medicine, research and development, etc. The other interesting thing, what we are seeing, ma'am, is that the GCCs have also become the connection point between the global organization and India. And most of the global CXOs, it's part of their annual pilgrimage to come to India, and they're viewing India through the prism of the talent that they see in GCCs, the experience that they're having in GCCs. And I think the more as government we engage with them and we are trying to solve for their problems, I think the attractiveness of India, which is already very strong, becomes even stronger and stronger. Not only for talent, but also for ease of doing business and other things. And also the ecosystem of entrepreneurs that we are seeing, either in startups or in R&D, I think that also a lot of them have started to their early lives in GCCs. I just want to highlight a few things. I think some of them were mentioned by Romil, and I just would maybe stress on some of them. The first one is the brand India, and we had the India Brand Equity Foundation. But if there is a way where collectively we can be seen much more emphatically as a brand and talk about some of the key factors in terms of why GCCs are attractive. Yes, they are known to a lot of people, but the more we can bring it home, the greater will be the pull factor to the GCCs. The second thing I would say, and has been mentioned earlier, the GCCs now are becoming more and more integral part of the global organization. So today it's very hard to distinguish whether this person is based in LA, Seattle, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Lucknow. They're all becoming more and more integral to the whole thing. And there are two things that are resulting from that. I think the tax issues are becoming slightly a challenge, or it's a question mark. I won't say it's a challenge, there are no major concerns, but it becomes a question mark. Do they create a permanent establishment in India? There are people who are working here who are directly reporting to their global headquarters. There are a lot of people who are global leaders who are based out of India. And do they create, because of that, does it become a place of effective management and poem? Do they create technical services in India? I think a lot of it is also around muscle memory about some issues that are raised. But the more I think we can clarify on these things, I think the more easier the decision-making process will become for a lot of the GCCs. And likewise, the new development is coming in areas which are, whether it's in AI, whether it's in quantum, whether it's other areas, the more we can have better participation, and a lot of that onus sits with industry, between industry, universities, academia, and state. The better it will become, because if we can become the fulcrum point, the factory of producing some leading edge talent, then this journey or this revolution is going to accelerate even at a further pace. So I think that those are some of the things I did want to mention. During the course of the day and otherwise also, there are some of the issues that have come on ease of doing business and other areas. So as CII, what we have decided that we'll put together a very crisp, concise 3 or 4 pages which will highlight some of the issues, some at the center level, some at the state level, and we will get back to ma'am and to the other stakeholders as well to say how we can try and simplify these things. Most of these things are not complex; these are old rules which are there. And I would say on behalf of CII, I think we are committed to working closely with our members, working closely with government, and see how we can facilitate and strengthen the GCC movement more and more in the country. So thank you, ma'am, once again. Thank you for your continued support. And I would like to invite you, if you can, to if you were to speak from here or from there. Thank you very much. Thank you. And a very keen posture from a government standpoint to ensure that there is complete coordination, and secondly that all the issues that we have, an open mind to at least hearing, detailing and trying to see, not everything is accepted, but at least trying to see how some of those issues are resolved, or at least the government's point of view is put forward as to why those are. And the most important is the amount of time that is spent in detailing what the government is doing in AI. A lot of times it is lost on us. And as we all know that the future success of GCCs to a large extent depends on how India develops its future talent pool and the emphasis that the government is playing. Obviously there are lots of ways in which industry government can participate better, but lots of things that are happening on the ground which sometimes we don't pay that much of attention. So thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Really appreciate it, ma'am. In GCCs and also the future potential that lies therein. And India today is at a very interesting inflection point. Obviously, it's one of the largest places for GCCs, but this is also a very important inflection point, especially with the advent of some of the emerging technologies, technology being more and more critical to every sector, and AI. That how we change, how we address, how we are more proactive, how we develop our skills is very important. And at CII, we're very keen to use this to have an actionable agenda. So thank you very much to the Honorable Finance Minister, thank you very much to all the people from government, all the officials, senior officials from government who were there right through the day, and of course to all the important stakeholders in the GCC world. And thanks a lot to Komal and Gunjan and their respective organizations for really putting out an outstanding report. So thank you very much and look forward to following you.